Hello, hello, my friends. Welcome, welcome. We are live. We are live on Facebook, and today I have got a fun, quick project for you guys. Or you can see my little messy little station back there. I gotta make sure that. So I'm doing a lot of different things. So that's why you see a different table behind me. I'm just looking at it in the camera. I'm doing ScanNCut and I'm doing embroidery. So I'm doing a couple of different things. I've had to use all my cameras, all my portable stands. So it's a little kind of crazy back behind me. But you know what? It is what it is. This way you guys can actually see what's happening here, right? Anyway, so my friends, welcome to today's lesson. It is on embroidery. We are going to take a free embroidery design from Kiwi Embroidery. I've already popped in the link in the comments. It's the first comment that you see there. So be sure to download that free design. So that design is a standalone design. You can use it as a coaster, or you can use it the way I'm going to do it and post it. I'm going to embroider it on a towel. So that's how I'm going to use it. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and just say hello to everyone who's joining today. I see Janet and Deborah. Hello. Hi, Terry. Hi, Connie. Thank you, Connie. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's my birthday today, and I'm in my happy place. So what a better way to spend the day, right? I love it. Hi, Pam. Good to see you. So good to see all of you guys. We'll go ahead and get started. Like I said earlier, we're going to do a pumpkin design from Kiwi Embroidery, and we are going to embroider it, but I want to show you a couple little things that you can do with the machine side of it as well as the ScanNCut side. So a little bit of both today. All right, so who's ready to get started? I know I am. Okay, let's go ahead and let me see where I should start here. Let's go ahead and, well, we're just going to start right on the machine, I guess. Let me go back. This is my scanning mat, but we'll get to all of this later. Let's go ahead and go right over to our machine. Okay, so I am on the Brother Luminaire, and let me grab my mouse. Excuse my reach. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and all right, let's go ahead and start all over here. I'm on the embroidery side of the machine. So let me back up here a little bit. I'm on the embroidery side of the machine, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a design, and I've already put the design on a USB stick. So the design is already on a USB stick, and I'm going to go ahead and just click on the little memory pocket, go to my USB stick, and grab this design. And then I will zoom in so you guys can really see what I'm talking about and what I'm doing. So here's my little pumpkin. It's a free design from Kiwi Embroidery. Isn't he cute? Let me go ahead and zoom in so you guys can really see it. All right, so there is the design. And I want you guys to first, oh, you guys can't hear me? Who can't hear me? Can everybody hear me? My volume is on over here. Connie, Pam, Terry, can you guys hear me? If you can just type in a yes so I can see that you guys can hear me. I see my volume is on my end, but that doesn't say a lot. Okay, Pam can hear me, Connie can hear me. Okay, so I do have sound, Marty, I'm sorry. Check on your end. Maybe your speaker is turned down, the volume's turned down. All right, so here are all of the different colors on this design. There's quite a few of them. So what I want to do is I'm just going to click on embroidery, which is at the bottom of the screen here, and I just want to show you all the different parts of this design. So you have your an outline design. So let me go ahead and go to this next screen here. And what this screen is going to show you, it's going to be able to walk us through the different parts of the design. So here's color number 1. Let me go ahead and just make sure you guys can see all that. And then I go down here, and I know that I have another placement line. So remember, this design is a coaster design from Kiwi. So it has a placement line, it has a tack down line because it wants you to put batting down and all that good stuff. And then the third color is another, so there's 3 placement tack down lines on here. And there's one tack down for the batting and one tack down for the fabric. So there's a lot of that going on here. Color number 4 is the actual face. Color number 5 is another tack down line. That is for the back of the design. So that is, because it's a coaster, it's for the back of the design. And then you have color number 6, which is an open satin stitch to kind of tack your fabric down. And finally, oh, not finally, 2 more. The top of the pumpkin, and then finally the satin stitch. Okay, so that's all, those are all parts of this design. Well, because I'm not going to use all of it, I'm actually embroidering this on a towel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, let me zoom out. I want you guys to see what button I'm clicking, especially for those of you who have this machine. I'm clicking on the return button in the lower left-hand corner. And I'm going to go over to the edit button. And when I click on edit, I'm going to click on this no sew icon. Okay, I'm going to click on the no sew icon, and now I'll zoom in again. Okay, so we've already established that there's 3 of these placement lines. I don't need all of them, so I'll keep the first one, but I won't keep the second one. So the second one is this blue color, so I'll go ahead and click on that. And then at the very bottom of the screen, so I'm going to zoom out so you can see it, but then once I tell you which button I'm clicking, you'll know where it's located. It's right here on the very bottom of the screen. Okay? So, well, maybe I'll just keep it on the screen so you guys can see both parts of the design. So here is color number 406. I'm not going to use that, so I'm going to click on no sew. And then you can see a little no sew symbol showed up here at the top right corner of that piece. Then color 030. It's another tack down line. I'm not going to keep that one. I don't need 2 of them. The next one is color 707. We're going to keep that, right? The next one, color 030. So that's a tack down line for the back of the coaster. I'm not going to keep that one. So I'll click on that no sew. Then you have this one here. But this one here is an open zigzag. I'll keep it. I may or may not stitch it out. We'll talk about that. We'll see what you guys think I should do with that one. I'll just keep it for right now. The next one is the stem. Of course, I'm going to keep that. And the last color is the satin stitch. I'm going to keep that. So I've gotten rid of 3 colors, and then I'm going to go ahead and just say OK. So now I want to go to embroidery because I want you guys just to see I reduced my colors to just this. You've got your placement line, the face, that little open zigzag, the stem, and the satin stitch. Isn't that cool? So it just eliminated my design. It eliminated 2 minutes of my design because before my design was 18 minutes long. Now it's 16 minutes. Okay, there's one more thing I want to do because I'm not going to manually cut any of this. I'm going to take it over to my scan and cut. So I'm going to click on return, and I'm back on the screen here, and I'm going to click on this colors icon. Okay, I'm on the colors icon, and here's that first color that I want to keep. But you'll notice here it has the word embroidery. So at the very bottom here of this color palette, you have these 3 options here. And I'm going to make that first color a cut stitch. Okay, I'm going to click on the one with the scissors. So I'm going to click on cut. Now you'll see it change from 030 to a cut stitch. All right, so what I'm going to do with that is that's the file that the scan and cut is going to use to cut the design out of. So I'm going to go ahead and just say OK. Let's look at our design one more time, and now you can see it's got the cut file and the rest of the design. I'm going to go ahead and save it to my memory stick. So I'm going to click on memory, and I'm going to save it to my USB stick. Okay, so I'll go ahead and take out my USB stick from my machine. So I've got it right here in my hand, and I'm going to walk it over to my scan and cut. Alright, so now I need to change camera, so just give me a second here. Let me figure out which camera I need to move to. Let's try this one. There we go. Okay, So now you should be able to see the scan and cut screen. Do you guys see the whole screen? You guys should be able to see the whole screen, right? Of the scan and cut. Let me just make sure it's not a... Okay, yeah, you guys can see the whole thing. Okay, perfect. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to retrieve data, and I'm going to go to my USB stick, because remember I saved the design to my USB stick. So USB stick, and I'm going to go all the way to the very end, and here is that pumpkin design. Okay, I'm going to touch that pumpkin design, and I have a couple of options, and I'm going to go ahead and click on this very first option right here because it's an embroidery file. If I click on that, and then I can click on OK, and it breaks it up into the different parts. And you'll see that I don't want to do the first two, the first one and the third. I want just that outline in the middle. So I'm going to click on that middle one right there, and I'm going to say OK. I'm going to say OK. There we go. And I'm going to click on the word set. And that's what I'm going to cut. Alright, so let's go ahead and go back to my standard mat, and let me show you how I prepare my fabric. So I'm over here on my standard mat, and I have, my mat needs to be cleaned, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'll do that another time. So I have my fabric, and it's already fused with Applique Wonder. It's a Floriani product. I've already fused it with that product. The key when you're doing fabric, though, my friends, is you have to really adhere your backing material onto your fabric. There cannot be any type of shifting in this, otherwise it's not going to cut properly. So I'm going to put mine towards the bottom here because I don't, this top part of my mat seems a bit shady. Let me put it on the bottom left. Do you guys ever use the bottom left part of your mat? We always use the top, right? See, it's not even sticking up here. I can see it. And that's okay. I'll clean my mat later. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some tape because I always tape. And we'll go ahead and tape this down. Oops. So how are you guys doing this Thursday afternoon? I am doing great. I've had a fabulous day so far. I had a great morning, and then my mom brought us some treats from this awesome bakery that our good friend Janet, who's here with us today on Facebook, recommended. So she brought me these strawberry croissants, Janet? Is that what they called? I don't even know the name of it. Oh my God, it was so good. And then she brought a couple of extras. So I'm taking it to the boys. My older son conveniently has the day off today. Is that not cool? So he drove up from school, and he's studying right now at the coffee shop with my younger son, and then we're going to go have dinner. So it's just a fabulous day. All right, so there we go. I've gone ahead and attached the material to my standard mat, and now I'm going to go back to my scan and cut. But before I do that, I just kind of want to put this on the side for just a second. I want to talk blades here. All right, do you guys like A or B? You know how they do it at the eye doctor? A or B? Which one do you like better, A or B? Well, I prefer B. And how did I get to B? What blade did I use? Well, guess what, guys? What is my new favorite blade is the rotary blade. If you don't have a rotary blade for your scan and cut, you got to go to my website and get one because this is fabulous. The rotary blade does take an extra minute or two, maybe sometimes longer, depending on the complexity of the design. But if you can get a clean cut like this, it's worth every minute. This one here was done with the auto blade, and you can see all the little whiskers, and I didn't even cut all the way through. I mean, it was pretty much a hot mess. This one here is the rotary blade, and look how smooth a line it is. So this is my new favorite, and that's what I'm going to use to cut this with. Okay, so now that I've talked blades, let's go back over to the scan and cut. And I'm going to go ahead and load my mat on the machine. So just give me a second here. And the first thing I want to do once I load the mat on the machine is I want to scan this in. I want to scan my fabric in so I know where to place my pumpkin. So here is the little scanning background icon. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click on the word start, and I'm going to start scanning. Okay, so there is my fabric, there is my pumpkin. I'm going to click on it to put a red box around it. I'm going to click and just drag it down here. You can see I have excess fabric. I always like to have more excess fabric than none. So I think this is a little bit too big, but in any case, I always like to have a bigger piece of fabric. So I've got my pumpkin here, and I'm going to go ahead and click on the word OK. And then I'm going to say please select. And then I'm going to say cut, because that's what we're doing. We're cutting. Now, the machine doesn't know I don't even have a blade in yet, so maybe that's what I should do first, is put this blade in. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rotary blade into the machine. And you'll notice here under the auto, what is it called? Oh, I just went blank. Let me go to the settings page. Half cut. Half cut needs to be off. But when you actually have the rotary blade on, it automatically knows that. It's pretty smart. But I always like to double check it. And to check it, you just go to your little wrench icon here, go to the next page, and where it says half cut for regular fabric, it should be off. Okay, so now that I've double checked that, I'm going to go ahead and click on the word cut. And I know I'm going to cut, so I'm going to click on the word, oh, I already did cut. Hello. I'm going to click on the word start. It's right here in big green letters, or big green background. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the word start, and off I go. So Sandy, the fabric blade is a great option. The only thing with the fabric blade is you need to use the fabric mat, and that is if you do not have a backing. So if you don't have a backing on your fabric, then the fabric blade and the fabric mat really work well together. But because I do have a backing material on here, because I'm doing applique, I'm not using that. I'm going to see if I can gently turn this camera down so you guys can see it cut. There we go. Pam, I will do that. I'm writing myself a note right now to do that. Thank you. Rotary blade on the app. Okay, I'm writing it down. Rotary blade. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and unload my mat, and let me take it over to the cutting. I'm done with my scan and cut, so I'm just going to turn it off. Whoops, you can see my blouse back there. Okay, let's go ahead and go back over to the overhead, and let me show you how this thing cut. So let's go ahead and remove our paper tape. I know the rotary blade is so nice. Now I know you guys, I know this is an embroidery day. Today's embracing embroidery, I get it, but I really just, and we are going to embroider in a minute, but I just really wanted to show you how you can take it to your scanning cut so you don't have to cut around the fabric, and just, you know, I always try to like to show you something different. Okay, so there we go. It looks like it did not cut right. You're like, oh my gosh, did it really cut? But look at this, you guys. Is that not cool? Let's see if it cut all the way. just one little hair. One little hair right here. Okay, not bad, right? I don't use paper tape on my scan and cut. I always use this pink tape because I love it. I've never had a problem. I have had a problem with painter's tape, for sure. Painter's tape, I've had a really big problem. Okay, so give me 1 second. I just need to change my camera one more time over here because I need some room by my machine. So give me 1 quick second and we will continue this program. Just situating myself here on the machine. So before I go over to the machine, let me show you what I'm actually going to be doing. So I'm going to move all of this. We're done with the mat. We just need this piece right here. So I'll show you that. So what I'm going to do is I am embroidering on a towel. Okay, I'm going to embroider on a towel. And so I've already marked my little crosshairs. I just folded my towel in half. It's one of these towels that are on a big roll. So my bottom edge is really rough. I didn't even trim it, which I should have. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and just embroider right over here. And what I'm going to do on the bottom of this is I'm going to add this piece here. So basically it's going to be like this, like a little border, and then my pumpkin is going to be here. Isn't that cute? So that's what the project is today. So I'm not going to sew this out here in class. I'm just going to do the embroidery so you guys can kind of get a feel of what that is. And so I am using a water-soluble stabilizer, and I am just going to take my towel and I am going to just lay it down. You can hoop this if you wanted to. You can hoop it. I think I'm just going to do a basting stitch. I'm just trying to center. Do a basting stitch around my design. Okay? You can even pin it around the perimeters if you wanted to. So you can do all kinds of fun stuff. Okay, so let me go ahead and take this back over to the machine here, and then I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, so there I'm on the machine, and I'm going to go ahead and say okay. And now what I want to do is make sure my positioning is correct. So I will go ahead and click on my little projector, and I'm going to double check my positioning of my design. Okay, so you can see a little red box appeared on my screen. Okay, but the cool thing is, check out the box that's on my, let me show you to you, let me change cameras. Oops. Let's see here. There you go. Let me angle that camera down a little bit. Isn't that cool? There's that pumpkin. So I do need to move it. So I'm going to go ahead and use the arrows on my screen here to move it, the pumpkin, to the left. And I'm kind of using the nose as my center. So I'm going to move the pumpkin up a little bit. Is that not cool? So there's the top of the pumpkin, there's the middle section, and the bottom. Fun. Alright, so we'll go ahead and say okay. We are ready to stitch this one out. So I do need some appropriate colors threads. Of course, I didn't get that far to plan my thread. No worries. Let me go ahead and thread my machine just real quick. It'll take me a second here to find an orange. All right, let me grab my orange fabric so I can match it, make sure it matches. So I basically need orange and a brown and a black, it looks like, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and rethread the machine with this orange, and it's going to do that placement line. But actually before that, we should do a basting box. So remind me, friends, to add that basting box. Oh, there we go, Pam. Look at you. You're asking about the basting box. Yep, let me do that right now. Okay, so threading the machine. Machine is threaded. Let me show you where to get that basting box. All right, so where to get the basting box? You want to go right to layout. And there is a box with this flower in the center. So go ahead and click on that. That's your basting box. And if you click on the layout again, you'll see it put a box first. Now what I like to do is I don't like to start my basting box from right center, because you can see there's a crosshair here in the center. I always go to my needle plus minus icon and go one stitch. It's going to take it right to this top left corner. And that's where I usually start my basting box. Okay, so that's what I'm going to start. So I'll go ahead and start it and then change camera so you guys can see that. Okay, so let's go ahead, let me move my camera over so you guys can see it better. All right, so let's start with color number 1, which is that placement line. So I'll click the start button. So this is going to go right here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and peel off this paper. So let me take my hoop off the machine. It might be easier to do it from a flat surface. So I'm taking the hoop off the machine. And we're going to go ahead and peel off this piece of paper, the little paper that's behind here. And now we are going to lay this in position. Now you can iron it if you want to, but I'm just gonna press it down and voila. Okay, let's go back over to our machine. And I want to make sure that the back of this towel is at the back of the machine. I don't want it to be underneath my presser foot and have a bad accident. How many of you guys have been there, done that? So I'm just going to reach back here just to make sure it's all flat. Okay, there we go. So placement line is done. Now I'm going to do the eyes. And I guess probably I could have just kept that black thread on, right? Because guess what? Now I got to change it again to black. I haven't stitched this design out before, so I really just wanted to show that I tried the cut before. Just wanted to make sure that there's no hiccups during a live class, of course, right? You always want to make sure. But it was actually a really good experiment because I was able to show you guys the difference between that rotary blade and the auto blade. So remember, my friends, this free design is available. I posted a link there for you guys, so you guys have it. It's in the comments. It's in the very first comment. So that way you guys have access to that design. I've uploaded that the rotary blade on the app, so you're good to go. It might take a minute just to refresh, but it should be there in a minute. iron this. Look how it's buckling. Oh, it's not good. All right, well, it's a really dense design, isn't it? Okay, so maybe I am going to do that open satin stitch, that one that I was not going to do originally. And I thought, well, let's just keep it there. And so let's go ahead and put the orange back on and we'll see how this turns out. So this face was really dense stitching. So maybe this design is not a good design for something like a towel. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes some of these designs are really dense and they don't work with certain type of stabilizer. So I have just a very light, water-soluble stabilizer. So we'll see how it looks. So it's doing that open zigzag stitch all the way around the perimeter. Now we're going to do, we're going to do that top, this top here. It's going to do that fill-in stitch right in here. So I need another color. Yeah, I probably could have floated another tearaway, Pam. You're right. You know, that's what happens when you don't stitch a design out ahead of class. You just kind of wing it. And that's what I did. And that's okay. I am looking for a brown, and I can't find a brown off the top of my head here. Let me just do this lighter brown. Let's see what happens with this one. Yeah, Connie, I probably could have floated a tearaway. But I'm late in the game. I'm late to the party. I should have probably done that. Normally when you think of an applique, you don't think of it being that dense, really. But this one really was pretty dense, so we'll see. So it may be one of those ones that could be just for a towel that is only in my own kitchen and nobody sees it. What do you guys think? We'll have to see what happens. We're all going to experiment today. What can I say? But the design is really cute. The pumpkin is super cute. It's definitely a great coaster because you have your batting and all that good stuff, so it'll definitely be supported with that. You're welcome, Pam. Thank you. Well, hopefully this design turns out cute. If not, you at least learned the process, right? How to take it from the machine to the scan and cut, and how to eliminate some colors. That's the most important thing. And we'll see how the design actually turns out. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. It's my birthday, so hopefully it goes my way. We'll see. We will definitely see how it pans out. I was doing a decorative stitch on top of that satin stitch. Wowee. Alright, note to self. Definitely too dense for a towel. But you know what I am going to do, because I do notice that it is going to shift, or it did shift. Let me do a little bit of cleanup before I do that satin stitch. So I'm just going to show you my boo-boos, because I have nothing to hide. It is what it is. I know, Connie, thank you, and I'm 29, exactly. And that's so funny that you said that age, because another one of my friends posted, we have this WhatsApp group, just a bunch of us, and he posted the same thing. And he posted a picture of me and some of my other friends, and he said, oh, 29. That must be the age. Maybe that was my best age. I don't remember. I don't remember what I did without 29. So what I'm doing, my friends, is right here along the edge, I'm just going to, let me turn this light back on so I can see. I'm going to trim, because it did shift with all of this detail. So I'm going to trim it up until that satin stitch, so that I make sure that it covers that raw edge. That's my pet peeve, when the raw edge, when fabric peers from underneath the satin stitch or behind the satin stitch. You know, certain things bug certain people, and that just bugs me. So I'm just going to do my own little cleanup here. This is not how I planned to do it, but that's okay. You know. All right, I'm pretty close, so let's see what happens. He's kind of cute, though. All right, we'll go back and finish it up and see. Connie, my body definitely does not think I'm 29. That's for darn sure. I was getting up this morning. I don't know. I think I was sitting on a chair, or what was I doing? And I got up and I could hear my knee crack. And I'm like, oh my God, was that my knee? Oh well. All right, so threading my machine to do that final stitch, and we'll see what happens. I'm not super thrilled with the design, but you know what? It is what it is. So tomorrow, for those of you who are in my in the private group, the Tips and Tricks group for IQ Designer, don't forget to join me tomorrow. I will have a cute project for you tomorrow, hopefully. Pam. I know. And why I say hopefully is because I haven't finalized it yet. Nothing like the last minute, right? Well, it's been a little busy week. I taught 2 classes this week, so that's what happens when you teach, which I absolutely love. So everything else just has kind of taken a back burner this week. Cleaning up all that lint, all that thread. I know, right? It's worth saving. If you can save it, you know. And like I said, worst comes to worst, I'll sit in my own kitchen and nobody will know the difference. All right, 6 more minutes of embroidery, then we can take a look and see how we did. So for tomorrow, I'm planning on doing this project that one of my customers sent me a picture and said, "Oh, do you think we could do something like this in IQ Designer?" So of course, my wheels start spinning. I'm thinking, okay, how can I do this? How can I do this? And so I will play with that design. Probably not tonight now because we're going to dinner, but I'll play with it during the day tomorrow and see if it works. And then if it doesn't work, I'll come up with a plan B. Doing that last little bit of detail, looks like 3 more minutes left. Thanks for hanging in there, you guys. Well, I think I did a pretty good save, you guys. Not bad. Not bad. Two more minutes, my friends. Alright, it's doing that last little decorative top stitch on top of that satin stitch. I know, the border will be a lot of fun. I love this border fabric that I picked. I'll show it to you as soon as we change cameras. Oh my gosh, that's it. It's done. All right, let's see. Moment of truth. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. I did save it. I did certainly save it. All right, let's see. Okay, what do you guys think? Not bad, right? So there is the towel, and then this is going to be, so it's going to be somewhat like this on the bottom. Cool, right? So there we go. There we go. That's the design for today, using the scan. First of all, using the machine to do the no-sew feature on parts of the design, and then using the scan and cut to cut out the orange fabric. Hey, it's Lynn. Hey, Lynn. Thanks, Pam. Thanks, Janet. All right. So my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed today's presentation. Thank you guys for watching and hanging around while we see this this design unfold, and keeping our fingers crossed whether it would work or not. But it did. It did. Not a bad save. So, you know, when all else fails, you just take the little scissors and you just cut it yourself and figure it out, right? Get as close as you can get. So my friends, thanks for watching, and don't forget tomorrow. Thanks, Pam. Tomorrow is Friday, and we will be doing an IQ My Design Center presentation. So join me tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Pacific on the private group. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and sign off now so I can go home and spend some time with my boys before dinner, because right after dinner he's taken off to go back to school. So I'm going to go and spend a little bit of time with him. But I really appreciate you guys taking the time to join me today. It was great seeing all of you, and we will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. All right? Take care. Bye.